Hi class, I'm going to go ahead and go over what to take a look at for the upcoming mini project. So we're going to be in the content section. Once you're here, go ahead and click on mini project 1. Under mini project 1, you're going to see the due date, which is February 12th at noon. Then you'll also see the brief link, a real world example, and an outline to follow. My recommendation is that you start with the brief. This is essentially an overview of what the mini project entails. It is worth 20 points. And what you'll do is you will pick a website that you're going to write information about. So you're going to choose any website. It could be existing, it could be fictitious, but essentially you're going to write the content for one web page. And what that looks like is you're going to be creating essentially a document. So let me show you the example first before we jump into the outline. So in our real world example, what this is going to look like is it will have the page that we're writing for and the website name. Within that, you'll want to put down the long tail keywords that you are trying to show up for and trying to rank on the SERP for. So what that means is, in this instance, we're looking at general contractor and Kalispell. That would cover the local queries, which include near me and Flathead Valley queries. Additionally, this will cover when people are looking for general contractor, near me, or general contractor remodeling, which is one of the highest search volume topics, and also remodeling general contractors. You can see that essentially my long tail keyword focus is general contractor Kalispell. And if we want to, we can add in that remodeling piece and just kind of show that those are the queries that we're targeting for Kalispell area. So for example, our page title, since it's our home page, we're going to put the company name first. In this example, it is example construction. So then we're going to put our next part of our long tail keyword here. So it would be reliable general contractor, Kalispell, Montana, because again, this is what we're really trying to show for if we take a look at this term up here. Then after that, we're going to write our page title. The page title needs to be 65 out of 65 characters. Do your best to really hit that mark because we do want to optimize. And then after you have your page title written, you'll move on to the meta description. So the meta description is a little ad, as we've seen on the SERP that shows up. Again, Google can choose to show this, or it can choose to take information from the page. But we always want to try to write something so that Google would choose that information that we want to display. So in this one, it's a call to action with choose example construction. Is your Flathead Valley general contractor, 30 plus years of new build and remodel construction, family owned and operated, let's build. You can see we have the words in here for general contractor. We're also calling out Flathead Valley. And so that's covering that Kalispell area as well. Moving on to down here. And so actually I did want to note a quick improvement here. If a quick improvement here would be to say your Kalispell, Montana, rather than Flathead Valley. So that would improve this because we would be relating exactly back to our long tail keyword. So just a note for an improvement. Then we're going to get to the on page section. This will be the text that's going to show on the page, and it will also have any enhancements that you're going to be putting on the page as well. So essentially when someone is looking at the website page that you would hand off to a developer, they would be able to take out this type of information and be able to just paste it right on the website, or if you're building your own website, you can take out this information and that would be your copy. You can see that if we do a find for a general contractor, that we use it several times on the page. And when we're in on-page content, we use it in the heading, which are H1 tags or H2 tags. And then we also use it in callout bands and in other content down the page. So when you're taking a look at this example, just keep in mind it does have other pieces of information in it, especially like the testimonials section slider. There's a section also for projects, and this is just showing, if you want to put anything in your information, this is just showing what else would be featured on the page. So you can put that in the little brackets to show that it's going to be a different type of content, and then you would write in small format, like small paragraphs, right? Look at these, they're only a couple sentences. You would write your content for the website. So with that being said, I'm going to go back to the brief. You can always reference this example. So in the brief, we're going to see that in order to meet the criteria, you'll want to, again, choose that page that you're writing for. The next thing is, how do you choose your keywords? Well, we're going to use the Moz Keyword Explorer for this. So you can generate 3 ideas a day. So I would encourage you to generate a couple ideas for, especially for this first project, just to get used to what you are looking for in terms of like how to research keywords. This is mentioned in the book that we're reading as one of the tools to use, and it's a tool that we've used in this class before. So if I am looking for a keyword, when I come here, again, I don't want to just type in one word because that's such a broad, it's a broad keyword, right? It's really a head keyword. We're looking for long tail keywords, which are, I give the general example, it's like 3 to 5 keywords. It could be more specific. So if we're looking at, let's say I'm trying to decide between terms. Let's say I have this construction company and I want to look at terms. I would type in construction company Kalispell. Maybe I think this is a great long tail keyword. So I'm going to try this. So I will go ahead and say analyze keyword, and then I'll get information put out as to how strong the keyword is, how much competition it's going to have. And so this just takes a second or 2 or 3 to generate our keyword that we are looking at. I've never seen it take this long. Let me go ahead and refresh the page. There you go. So if it doesn't work the first time, go ahead and refresh. So the organic click-through rate on this is 62%. Basically, the higher the organic click-through rate, the better keyword it is going to be. The difficulty is low, and this essentially means this is how easy it would be to rank for that keyword. The search volume is also very low too. So that means this term isn't searched very often. So then when we come down here, we can see the top keywords that are suggested. So what I'm going to do here before we get into it too much further, I'm going to say construction company remodeling. What I'm doing here is I'm taking out the word Kalispell and I'm replacing it with the word remodeling. So that turns it into a national search. And so it's not only focused on my local area, but I can see how well this keyword ends up performing. I'm not sure why it's having so many fits. So let's go back and do it one more time. There we go. So if we remember my last keyword, it had 0 search volume. So essentially it's not a keyword that we would want to necessarily show up for. But keep in mind, construction companies are usually based locally. So you would want to look at what has the highest search volume, what has a good organic click-through rate that it has a high, essentially, probability of someone clicking through to the page, and has a low difficulty. So we want volume to be high, organic CTR to be high, and difficulty to be low. So if we look at this, looks like the monthly search volume is much higher if I look at remodeling contractors or remodeling contractor. So this is where you would take this type of information and you could either strip it out into a spreadsheet, or you could screenshot this right here to take a look at why you're choosing that long tail keyword. So I'm going to go with the term that I actually have in my project brief, which is general contractor. And why I'm doing this is this was something that a real world client was looking at. They really wanted to show up for general contractor and remodeling for Kalispell. So again, taking this type of term, and we're going to leave the Kalispell off of it because that will impact our search volume. And let's see what kind of data this gets. Hopefully when you're running these searches, it isn't as buggy for you. So I'd encourage you to have a little patience here. And there we go, voila. So this has a higher search volume than our terms from before, has a higher organic click-through rate, and it has a difficulty of low. So this is why I chose the long tail keyword of general contractor remodeling. And if we look back at the real world example, you'll see that the general contractor Kalispell, this type of information, why I chose it is because it was based off of something that we wanted to show up for, but then it also included the national search terms. So not just the local, but the national. And within that, I have a Google Ads campaign running, and so that's where I was able to do my keyword research. But I would encourage you just to use Moz for your keyword research. Use the free version up to the 3 searches a day. Be patient with it. And when you do choose your keywords, essentially, when we get into our second project, you're going to keep this type of information for ranking. So if you are building a page out for your project one, sorry, not our second project, but our second project of the class will be a 5-page build out of website content. So then go ahead and keep this information. Again, you can put it in a spreadsheet just to compare your terms. So you would note that you have general contractor remodeling, has a search volume of 120, organic click-through rate is the highest of the searches we've done, difficulty is low. So if we take a look down here, we can actually see what are the most commonly searched terms. Of course, a head term like contractor is going to have high monthly volume search, but it doesn't necessarily mean the same intent. So that is how we use Moz for keyword searching. So let's come back here, go back to the brief. And then once you've selected your keyword, and again, it can just be one long tail keyword, which is 3 to 5 words, you'll go ahead, write your title, meta description, and your on-page copy. Make sure you include your long tail keyword at least 3 times in your body copy. I will be checking your information to ensure that it does meet this brief. Organize your article using headings and break up long paragraphs with interactive features. That means if you're going to put in, for example, a social carousel, you would note that there's a social carousel that goes there. Check that you do have call to action buttons within your copy. So in my example, what I have here is the ready to build is a header, then the CTA button, the call to action is contact us today. So criteria, make sure your full assignment meets 300 words and be sure that 250 of your words are in your on-page content section. I do check this, so I will come in and I will check your section that is supposed to be on page to make sure it does meet what the criteria is. So I'm just going to give you an example here. We'll copy this in, paste it in, so I do meet the word criteria for the on-page section and then the total page section. Again, make sure to use your long tail keyword 3 to 4 times, but at least 3 times in your body copy. And then I will be using this rubric, which is right here, to grade your assignment so you can see the information developed in the rubric. What you're going to do after you have your project complete, you can create it in a Word doc or a Google Doc, however you'd like, and you can submit it either as a document or a PDF. I would go ahead and follow this outline. This has the information of what to include in your project. So again, come in here, copy this out, put it in your document, and go ahead and then do your long tail keyword research. Once you're ready to submit the assignment, you'll come to the assignment tab. Under here, you're going to see that there's the mini project 1 due and that it closes on February 12th at noon. Go ahead and make sure you hit that target date, not accepting late work for this. So make sure that you're working ahead and you submit this project by that time. If you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to me. Again, all of this information can be found in the content section with the mini project 1. And if we do take a look at the syllabus, you can see that this project is listed right here. So it is 15% of your grade. Make sure you do a solid job on it and get all those 20 points. Awesome. All right, class, go get them.